Welcome to Dix's Storytime World.
Let's meet Sandy, a little chihuahua who's both curious and a little bit scared. Sandy, the Scaredy-Cat Chihuahua, written by Kumar. To get your copy, check the links in the description at the bottom of this video. Sandy was a sweet, tiny chihuahua with fur the color of warm sand, as soft as a cloud. But unlike fluffy clouds that drifted carefree across the sky, Sandy preferred staying firmly planted on the ground in her own familiar corner of the world. The world outside, with its rushing cars and unfamiliar faces, made Sandy feel scared. Sandy loved her soft, fuzzy blanket. She would dive headfirst into her blanket, her entire body disappearing, except for the tip of her curious nose peeking out. Most of all, she loved her humans. Sandy's tail thumped happily against the sofa when her humans entered the room. Curled up in her blanket, she gazed at them with adoring eyes. At home, tucked away in her warm, fuzzy blanket, surrounded by the love of her humans, Sandy felt completely safe and content. One sunny morning, one of her humans pulled a big, shiny suitcase out of the closet. "Guess what, Sandy?" her human said, her voice full of excitement. "We're going on an adventure!" Sandy's ears perked up. "Adventure?" The word sent shivers down her tiny spine. New places, new smells, new sounds. They all filled Sandy with nervous uncertainty. The next day, her human carried Sandy in a special bag, a carrier, into a noisy, bustling place called an airport. There were flashing lights, loud announcements, and people rushing past in a flurry of legs and rolling suitcases. Surrounded by the chaos, Sandy's ears flattened against her head, and her tiny body trembled slightly. She pressed her nose deeper into the soft lining of her carrier, seeking comfort in the familiar scent. After a long journey, they arrived at a place unlike any Sandy had ever seen. There was a vast, sparkling blue expanse that stretched as far as her eyes could see, and the ground was covered in soft, grainy sand. It was the beach. Sandy emerged from her carrier slowly, one tiny paw at a time. As her paws sank into the warm sand, a gentle breeze ruffled her fur. She felt the warmth of the sun on her face. Suddenly, a blur of golden fur came bounding towards her. It was a puppy, much bigger than her, with a wagging tail and a playful glint in its eyes. At first, Sandy stood frozen, her tiny paws planted firmly in the sand. But then the puppy nudged her with its wet nose, wagging its tail as if to say, "Come play with me." Sandy, unable to resist its playful spirit, let out a tiny yip. Soon they were chasing each other along the shore, their tails wagging happily. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Sandy snuggled in her human's lap, feeling a warmth that had nothing to do with the setting sun. It was the warmth of love, the joy of new experiences, and the comfort of knowing that even in new places, with her human by her side, she was safe. Back home, curled up in her familiar blanket, Sandy felt a newfound sense of peace. The beach adventure, though initially scary, had brought her a friend, a playful memory, and a beautiful seashell that her human had tucked into her carrier. It was a reminder of the bravery she never knew she possessed. One day, her human returned with a bright pink leash. "Ready for another adventure, Sandy?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Sandy's heart thumped in her chest. New places still made her nervous, but the thought of exploring with her human and maybe even meeting her new friend again filled her with a spark of excitement. This time, their adventure led them to a park a place teeming with new sights and smells. Birds chirped in the trees, squirrels scurried across the grass, and children's laughter filled the air. Sandy, with her newfound confidence, sniffed the colorful flowers cautiously, her tail wagging tentatively. As they walked, they came across a group of children throwing a red ball for a sheepdog. The fluffy sheepdog, a gentle giant with fur like cotton candy, exploded in a flurry of happy barks and paws, chasing after the bouncing red ball. Suddenly, the ball rolled towards Sandy. She hesitated for a moment. Then, with a burst of bravery, she nudged the ball with her tiny nose. The children gasped in surprise, then knelt down, their faces filled with wonder. "What a cute little chihuahua!" one of them exclaimed, gently stroking Sandy's soft head. Sandy, initially cautious, relaxed under their gentle touch. Soon she was playfully chasing the ball alongside the sheepdog, her fear replaced with the joy of the game and the warmth of new friendships. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the park, her human called out, "Time to go home, Sandy." Sandy trotted happily beside her human, her tail held high. New places weren't so scary anymore. With her human by her side and the courage to explore, she knew there were countless adventures waiting to be discovered, filled with friends, fun, and beautiful memories. From then on, Sandy continued to embark on adventures with her humans. They hiked in the mountains, visited the bustling pet store, and even had picnics in the park with her new friends. Sandy learned that even though new places and experiences could be scary at first, with a little bit of bravery and the love of her humans, there was a whole world waiting to be explored, filled with joy, friendship, and unforgettable memories. Thank you, kids, for listening. Bye for now.